Well, hello, BookTube. Bill Ruttenberg here with the Ruttenberg Library. Come to you this morning for Friday Reads. Got a little visitor on our Friday Reads. Can you say hello, Clover? Say hello. Recently put a photo of her up on Instagram when she was a pup, and my goodness, she has grown. And you know, it's hard to believe she's about 6 years old, and she's still my baby. She moves a little bit slower, a little bit less active, but definitely still a lot of fun, aren't you? She's kind of camera shy. I don't know that she really likes doing that. Oh well, it's all right. You want down? You want down? No? Okay. Anyway, just wanted to tell you about how life was this week and get into what I was reading this week. We've had a good week here in Iowa. We've finally had some beautiful weather move in. Yesterday and then especially this morning, the sun's out and I think we're around 80 degrees. It's just absolutely beautiful. Can't ask for better weather, which is nice considering how much rain we'd had the last week and a half or so. Had plenty of rain, so we were ready for some sunshine. I know the garden out back is ready for some sunshine, and I'm ready to dry out the garden and start weeding it. I haven't been able to weed it because it's a little bit muddy right now. But anyway, wanted to tell you a little bit about that. And of course, we finished up school this week. The teachers finished up on Tuesday and did our last rounds of you know, the paperwork and some of the preparatory stuff for next school year. And you know, everybody's hopeful that next school year is going to start normal and we'll be able to be back in the class with the kids. Some other things that went on this week. History Channel put on what I thought was a fabulous three-part documentary, three-night documentary on Ulysses Grant, and I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought a lot of good stuff came out of that, and I'd been excited to watch that since I'd originally watched the one that they did on George Washington back, what was that, a month and a half, 2 months ago or something, and I wasn't real impressed with that one. I didn't really like the actor they chose. I just didn't like it, and so I was pumped to see Grant's. I was hoping that History Channel had improved on things, and I feel they improved greatly on this documentary. I know Peg at the History Shelf, she did a whole rundown of the whole movie. I'm not going to rehash through everything because everything she said was pretty much what I was thinking. I thought they did a good job. She talked about the historians that they used. It was a kind of a variety of people. I liked that. I thought that was kind of cool. It was really neat to see new people, new faces in there. You know, History Channel's kind of started to show that they're starting to do a changeover in who they use for their documentaries. It's not the same old historians. Not that they were bad or anything, but they've just, you know, they've upgraded and moved into the new generation. And I thought that was kind of cool. I saw a lot of new faces. I only really recognized two of them, Ron Chernow and Joan Waugh were the only two, and Peg mentioned both of those. Those are the two that I recognized. I did not recognize any of the other faces that were doing the documentary, and so I thought that was kind of cool. I liked the actors they used. I thought Grant's character was portrayed well. I got used to Sherman's. I didn't know what to think on that one because I was thinking visually, you know. The one that I struggled with, not that he did a bad job acting, just he didn't, to me, fit the part. I thought he looked too young. I know they gave him a gray beard and everything, but Robert E. Lee's actor, he did okay acting. Just he looked way too young in the face. He had the gray beard, probably to me almost too long, but and part of it is I'm spoiled because I'm so used to seeing. Who was it in the movie Gettysburg? Was that Robert Duvall, I think, that played him, and absolutely loved him when he did that part, and so I kind of envisioned him. So anyway, I thought it was a great series. I recommend everybody going out and watching it. I recommend going and listening after you watch it. Go listen to Peg's summary. I thought she did a great job with her summary. I'll put the link to her video down in the description here so you can go catch that. And then I wanted to tell you, be on the lookout for another 3-part series. This one's on World War II, and it comes out June 14th, I believe, was the date that one's coming out. And so that one looks like it's going to be pretty cool. So I'm pretty pumped about that, and I look forward to watching that. Moving on here, had a funny moment with my with my 3-year-old. I wanted to share this with you. She was yesterday. She was looking forward to watermelon, and her mom said she couldn't have any watermelon unless she finished her dinner. And of course, we sat there forever. My youngest she eats, but sometimes she likes to piddle. And we sat there for 45 minutes waiting on her to finish eating. And finally, we were sitting in the living room because we got tired of sitting at the table. And Amber told her, 3 more bites. And so pretty soon, or pretty quickly, she comes running in. I'm done. I took my 3 bites. I'm done. Can we have watermelon? Amber goes, you ate 3 bites? Yeah. She goes, well, let me go look at it. And then Katie's eyes just got big. No. Went running back in. And those of you with kids, probably have similar stories, but it was the funniest thing ever. And so, as I've shared over the last few weeks, life at home with getting to spend more time with my 3-year-old has been a lot of fun. Another big one here before I get to talking about reading, we got baseball. Iowa opened up baseball. We had our baseball meeting for our school yesterday, and we get to start that on Monday. So that's pretty exciting. We're about a month behind, and so they're going to cut the first half of the season. We're going to start like June 1st is the practice date. June 15th we start playing games, and everything else is pretty much on schedule. The only difference is, of course, we've got a ton of precautionary things that we've got to do. Kids can't be in the dugout during practices, and that one's kind of funny because we really were never in the dugout during practices. But oh well. But no kids in the dugout during practices. We got to wipe stuff down. Just all kinds of precautionary stuff that in social distancing and stuff like that we've got to do. And I'm hoping this is going to be a good thing. I'm hoping we're not going to see any breakouts, and I'm hoping it's going to be a good thing for the kids. The kids have been stuck indoors, or supposed to be stuck indoors anyway, and this could be a good time for them to come together and be a team and just have fun, go out and have fun. And so and I look forward to it. I get to go out and have fun. So let's get to what I've been reading this week. The first book that I read this week was John Keegan's The American Civil War. And I read this, or got it finished this week anyway. I've been working on it for a couple weeks, but I got that finished. I kind of hit that hard and heavy and got that done. I'm not going to tell you a ton about it because I think I'm going to do a review video, maybe my thoughts on it. This afternoon is what I'm shooting for, and maybe either put it up this afternoon or tomorrow, one of the two. But I want to do a video on this, so I don't want to tell you too much and then repeat myself in the video. But it's just basically a military history of the entire Civil War. I really enjoyed that. Thought that was good. I got a different perspective on things. I'd never read any John Keegan stuff, so that was an enjoyable experience, and I would recommend that book to anybody looking for stuff on the Civil War. I also read this week a fun novel, just because I'd been doing serious reading with John Keegan. So I did a fun novel, a John Grisham, Playing for Pizza. And I am going to finish this up today. I'm going to go ahead and put it in my finished pile, because I'm right at the, well, if you can see, I'm right at the very end of it. And probably, for me, another hour's worth of reading, and I'll have it knocked out. But this is a good one. This is about a Rick Dockery. I think Dockery was his name, right? Yeah, Rick Dockery. He's a third-string quarterback in the NFL. He's kind of a journeyman. He's just traveled here, there, and everywhere. He never stays with one team basically longer than a year. and he is in the, I think it was the AFC title game or something, and had a huge lead in the fourth quarter, and he gets brought into the game. He should have never even been in the game, but the first two guys had gotten hurt, so he's brought into the game, ends up losing what should have been a big, big win, loses the game. He's ran out of town. You know, he's blamed for everything. And so anyway, he's trying to find a home. He's only, I think, 28 years old, and so he's still got some years of playing, but nobody wants to take him on. I mean, he's more of a liability than he is anything. And so his agent finds him a job in Italy, and so he's in Parma, Italy, and he is playing for it's almost a backyard league, and it's nothing compared to the NFL. And he's got this writer in Cleveland where he blew that lead, this writer in Cleveland that's tracked him down, and he's starting to write articles and make fun of him some more. And anyway, Rick Dockery's trying to basically find peace with himself, and he's finding it here in Italy, and he's questioning whether he wants to go back to the States or to the North American continent, because the Canadian football has also been ringing, knocking on his door, ringing the doorbell, and so he's trying to decide what to do with his playing life, and he meets a couple girls along the way, and of course he was single, so that was kind of a big deal for him. But anyway, this has been a fun read. I'll finish this later today, and so that'll be on my finished list. And then last weekend, I haven't got back to it, but last weekend I read, 50 pages or so out of The Drifters by James Michener, and so, I'm making progress. This will be the next fiction book that I hit real big, trying to get it finished up, and it's good. The chapter I read, well, first of all, the whole book takes place in the 1960s, so it's like what I would call the hippie era. And they were at the 1968 Democratic Convention in Chicago, and they've had some stuff go on, and the girl ends up moving to Europe, and she's trying to find her way, and it's a very good book. James Michener spins a good yarn. He's just an excellent writer, and so I'm going to get back to this week and start hitting that kind of hard in the evenings. And then my plans for the week is to work on James Michener's book. I probably won't, I know I won't finish it because I'm just going to do it a little bit here, a little bit there. But I'm going to pick up another book off my yearly TBR, my 2020 TBR list. And it's going to be with that Civil War theme, Reelecting Lincoln, The Battle for the 1864 Presidency by John C. Waugh. And I look forward to that read. It looks like it's going to be really good. And he's a good storyteller, John C. Waugh is, and so I'm going to hit that. And then the other big book that I am going to read, or start reading anyway, I'm going to be doing a buddy read with Remembered Reads. She's hosting a buddy reads on the Bully Pulpit, and this is the Bully Pulpit, Theodore Roosevelt, William Howard Taft, and the Golden Age of Journalism. And so I'm going to be buddy reading with that, and I think it's going to be she's going to take it slow. There were some people worrying about just the size of the book, because it is a good hefty book, as many of hers are. It's got a total of 910 pages. Let's see here, and it's 750 pages of actual text. The rest of it's notes and index and stuff like that. But I look forward to that. I find Theodore Roosevelt to be just a fascinating character. I love reading about him, learning about him. He was kind of when I teach, I try to find pivotal people in the era that I'm teaching. And when I was teaching the U.S. and World Affairs, I found that Teddy Roosevelt was one of the key figures in bringing the United States onto the world scene, the world stage. And so I just kind of fell in love with learning about him. And I know I look forward to, I got another teacher friend there, and I haven't looked it up recently, but they were trying to get the presidential library for Theodore Roosevelt built up in the Dakotas, and they were doing fundraising, and they were going to begin construction on that sometime. I thought it was this year. I could be wrong on that. I'd have to go look again. But anyway, I look forward to that presidential library getting opened up, and me and a teacher friend are going to go take a trip up there, and him and I are fans of Theodore Roosevelt. So this book, when I get into that, that's going to be very interesting, just for the fact that, I mean, I just really like Theodore Roosevelt. He's an interesting character. So, oh, and also, if my daughter's still on board, I think I'm going to do kind of a buddy read with my daughter. She recently bought Gone with the Wind, and we were thinking about starting that this next week. I don't know if she's still on board with that or not, but that's a thought of mine. But anyway, that's my reading life for this week, and just what's been happening in my life. And I hope your week has been BookTube. I hope your week has been good, and hope everybody's staying safe and enjoying their reading. So tell me what you think of the books that I have read, I am reading, and go ahead and leave your comments down below. I'd be happy to converse with you. And until next time, BookTube, you have a great day.